Rise with India podcast on ET Now.
Good morning and a very warm welcome to this edition of the ET Now Rise with India podcast. I'm your host Rohit. Here are the big stories this morning. A new Delta Plus variant of the coronavirus, which is said to be driving a surge in COVID-19 cases in the UK, has shown up in India, and a group engaged in the genome sequencing of the virus is already monitoring it. The World Health Organization's Technical Advisory Group will meet tomorrow to decide on granting emergency use listing to Bharat Biotech's COVID-19 vaccine Covaxin. Two new team franchisees of the Indian Premier League will go under the hammer today. According to estimates, BCCI is expected to rake in about 5,000 to 7,000 crore rupees from the sale of the two new teams, apart from additional 450 crore rupees from its share of broadcasting and sponsorship revenues in 2022. US stocks fell after Federal Reserve signaled some concerns over inflation. Jerome Powell said the central bank was monitoring price pressures carefully and would adapt accordingly. Back home, the ongoing quarterly earnings will be the major factor driving market trends going ahead, and benchmark indices may face volatility this week. Tech Mahindra, Ambuja Cement, Axis Bank, Kotak, Adani Ports, L&T, Bajaj Auto, ITC, Maruti, DLF are among the key names which will come out with their earnings this week. Foreign portfolio investors have turned net sellers in India by pulling out about 3,800 crore rupees in October so far. On Friday, FII's net sold shares worth about 2,700 crore rupees, while DII's net bought shares worth about 1,030 crore rupees. Let's talk about some of the active stocks this morning. ICICI Bank's net profit rose 30% in September quarter from the year ago, riding on growth in interest and non-interest incomes. Provisions remain subdued due to slow additions in NPAs. Shares of Reliance Industries are likely to gain 3 to 4% after a 43% rise in consolidated net profit in the second quarter from a year ago. Analysts said strong upsides in Reliance share could help end the 4-day losing streak in the Sensex and Nifty. Most brokerages have either cut or retained their target prices on Asian Paints after the company's second quarter earnings. Analysts said the margins took a hit on account of spike in input costs. Puneet Goenka's counsels have told Bombay High Court that his removal will be against the company's act and that there is no room for negotiations in the deal Invesco had suggested. The Bombay High Court has reserved its order for October 26th. Meanwhile, Subhash Chandra has filed a plea in NCLT to be made party to the case. It's going to be an IPO Diwali on Dalal Street. Nykaa is set to add glamour with its IPO, which is set to be launched on 28th of this month. Meanwhile, Paytm has also received SEBI's nod for its proposed IPO. And that's all we have time for. Thank you for listening in. This is your host Rohit signing off. Goodbye and take care.
The Rise with India podcast on ET Now.